type.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. I have had a day. If you're looking at me right now and you look like, hey, did you lose your job at JCPenney's and then tried to fight your boss afterwards? The answer is yes. Merry fucking Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas. This is one of those days where I'm gonna need a strike force. I'm gonna need just a quick boom, boom. This is that fucking 750 milliliter bottle I'm always talking about. We've been shooting a sketch all goddamn day, Jabes, and I'm gonna tap you in here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. We've been shooting a Christmas sketch.
Yes.
That's will be out tomorrow or the day after. I forget. But anyways, ran right from filming to here. We didn't want to miss the show. Yeah. So hence, I got a fake black eye and the whole shit. I have an ill-fitting brown suit. Mm-hmm. And you have what are you wearing there?
Well, these are not part of my costume. These are my real life gloves.
What would you call those, Jabes? Because it looks like I don't know. You're in some type of a female gang, like a bitch gang.
Oh yeah, like a roller derby.
Yeah, like a
real
glow.
Hardcore roller derby. Yeah. No, it's from the Zoolander, the Derelict line.
Those are nice. Those are nice. Is that real?
No,
it's not.
But it was sort of a fad a long time ago. I don't like to keep up with trends. I like to get them on the way down.
Yeah.
On sale.
Yep.
Okay, because they're out years later,
yeah.
And that's how I live my fashion life.
I understand it.
But I don't know if you guys can see my blue. Can you see the blue eyeshadow? I mean, really.
Yeah.
So I'm reprising a role myself. So exciting day. That's the life of a Patterson.
Yeah, you are. We did this Christmas sketch last year. It was doing really well, and then Facebook shut it down for about 72 hours because there was a live birth there was a live birthing scene.
Oh yes,
in the background.
Yes.
And then you have the option to fight Facebook and say, hey, there's a reason why there's a live birth in here. And it came from like a health video from the government. It was just like a stock footage video from yesteryear. And I submitted that to them with the link. And then they put the video back up.
Oh, okay.
So it's still there.
Like, it's for educational purposes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. So they did put the video back up. It's still on my page.
Okay.
However, it just kind of died at like 15,000 views. But if you go to the Ross Patterson Facebook page and just click on, is it Super Drunk Silent Night?
Yes.
This one is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Yeah. Super drunk, and we're repeating that sketch. But we've been shooting all morning, and need a little strike force in my drink, if you will.
In your beak.
Yeah. Whew.
Is that a...
Whew.
Whew.
I didn't have time to make coffee. So
I hear you. I mean, we're really on the go.
I know. And look, our show is brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Segway Sally. Nailed it. BlackRifleCoffee.com. Finest blends and or roast in the whole game. Big fan of their coffee. Super grateful that they came on to join the show, because not only do I drink it every day, but I wear their fucking apparel every day. And it took my hour. Sometimes he's my son to McDonald's last night.
You babysit sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching him play in the jungle gym and all that stuff, and I was wearing a Black Rifle Coffee sweatshirt, And one of the dudes who worked there behind the counter was like, "Oh shit, Black Rifle Coffee, dude! I fucking love those videos." And I was like, "Right on, man."
Oh, that's awesome. You're like, my kid's here. Can we?
Yeah,
keep
can you
the language?
tone down the language?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
And you're all fucking forget it.
I know. And we broed out. We ended up smoking a bowl inside the jungle gym. And
sure.
Really, I'm kidding.
In those the molester tube?
Yeah, the molester tube inside the jungle gym.
Yeah.
We're hotboxing in there.
Sure.
And there's nothing but fucking weed smoke coming out of the tunnel to the slide where it's just. Mm-hmm. Yeah. La 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 la.
Yeah.
It's the motherfucking deal. Snoop Dogg. Speaking of which, this is the 25th anniversary of The Chronic by Dr. Dre.
Oh, really? Did you forget about him?
It is.
I personally didn't, and I never would.
No.
I never would.
I never forget about Dre. I think you forgot about Dre. I never forget about Dre.
Don't put that on me because I never would.
Yeah, no, you never would.
You know, I'm not. I don't talk to him like talk about guns like he ain't got none.
Yeah,
because he has a bunch.
Yeah, he's got a ton. Who else has got a ton? Black Rifle Coffee. They got some.
They have a bunch of guns.
They got some guns over there. It's a premium roast to blend.
Yeah.
And look, it just comes right off the roasters, and then they ship it right to your fucking house. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. It's that type of year. It's that type of year where you just need a lot of coffee. I feel like I haven't slept this entire year, Javes. This year's flown by to me.
Are you a mom from preschool?
That's what I feel like.
Guys.
I feel like this year's gotten away from me.
Definitely. Well, you know me, but I felt behind, not behind, but like you're just, I mean.
Yeah.
You've done a lot.
This year in particular, fuck man. I mean, just looking back in this year, 2 books, a movie, we do 5 shows a week, countless fucking sketches, and then we did live shows and, stand-up specials and all that shit. And,
it's a marathon for sure right now. It's a marathon.
And then we're heading to Alabama to fundraiser Monday nights in Birmingham for the Crawford Foundation. One of my beef fries, Clayne Crawford, giving back. It's going to be an awesome night. Super stoked. You can donate at the crawfordfoundation.org. Super stoked about that. But we're going to be going again in Birmingham.
Yeah, they requested that you host, right?
Yes.
And then they asked for me to come and just like eat a bunch.
I know.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
That like we each got our talents. Do you know what I mean? Like identified.
Utilize. Well, they're utilizing our talents.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That we each like people know what we can do best.
Yeah.
And they keep us in our lanes.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
For me.
And by the way, anybody watching the video show right now, tuning in like mid-show, has no idea why I have this black eye.
Which I like. I don't think we should address it.
I'm not going to anymore.
Obviously.
What I am going to address, though, is our next sponsor, straightrazors.com. There we go. Come on.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people were missing. Well, they were missing my sound effects on the video show because it's like I don't know, like
why?
You know what I mean?
You're always welcome. No one's stopping you from doing sound effects, Michael Winslow.
You guys, all of the people that wrote in.
Yep.
Many.
Both of them.
Many both.
Sure.
I'll be doing them again.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Straightrazors.com. Look, they've got some new fucking dope shit. They've got some shampoos, some conditioners now for the hair. They got mustache waxes for this guy. Boom, boom. Boy, I use the shit out of it. I'm not going to have this mustache much longer, by the way, but a lot of people are asking, like, you're keeping that, right? I'm like, no, I'm not.
I want you to keep it.
I know you do. But it's enough. Like, I've had enough of it. I like it for a few months, but all of it was shaped, trimmed, maintained, everything from straightrazors.com. Super grateful for them. Not only that they're a sponsor, but I use this shit every day. Their Smolder aftershave is the jam, and their cologne, Smolder cologne, is amazing. They've got straight razors, and they've got safety straight razors in case you're a little timid about it. We go to straightrazors.com, use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. It's a great stocking stuffer. It's a hell of a fucking shaving kit they give you, and it'll ship before Christmas, kids, if you get it now. Straightrazors.com, promo code REVOLUTION, 20% off. Last but not least, we've got StrikeForceEnergy.com. I said them at the top. It's the finest energy drink in the land. I don't need to go there anymore. Lemon, orange, make America grape again, original. They got that 750 milliliter bottle. Subscription of the month club. They ship to your fucking house, so you don't have to go anywhere, which is great. And it's just a tasty 10 on 10 pouch. Squeezing anything. This is just water and Strike Force. I didn't have time to make coffee.
You said.
So I'm drinking that. I also feel like since I look like this, like I can just, kind of, I say whatever I want today.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Not that I don't say what I want every single day.
Let's go for it.
Or every hour. But go to strikeforceenergy.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. 20% off. Last but not least, At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed, the first ever romance novel for dudes. Funniest book ever written by me. Small genius, whatever. Boy genius. A lot of people compare me to Vicky the Robot from that show Small Wonder. So,
I love Small Wonder.
Yeah, big fan. It is currently sold out of Amazon, which is fucking awesome. But
and that's not a lie.
That's not a lie. But that's where I've been telling people to go. Look, it's sold out of a lot of bookstores. Nothing I can fucking do about it. Sequel's coming out next year. Go to Walmart.com or BarnesandNoble.com. There's a bunch of .coms that have the fucking book, and that's the jam for Christmas because the sequel's coming out. In about six months, I think. 6 months. I am done with that fucking thing. We got a big show tonight, Jabes.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna start off with the Roy Moore election recap, and we did a call-in show. I also would have did this the day before the last show. We did a call-in show though on the Vegas conspiracy shooting that I think is a fucking conspiracy. We had a bunch of call-in. Thank you to everybody who called in, and that was a fucking crazy awesome show. I don't want to say they're burying it, but iTunes is burying that episode.
Huh?
Yeah, it's super strange. I'm not kidding either. I'm not kidding when I say that, because we get the numbers, we get the charts they're updated every 5 seconds, so like we can see the numbers. The numbers are better than some of the other shows, and they're not popping up on the charts. They're trying to hide it, Jabes. They're trying to hide it. But Rostradamus was wrong. Rostradamus was wrong on Roy Moore, and I'm glad. Like I'm happy about that.
Right.
It was I said 50-48 Roy Moore over Doug Jones, and ended up being 50-48, but the other guy. And I've seen a lot of people celebrating, Democrats and all this shit, and hey, you did it, Alabama. We're so proud of you. Such a condescending fucking tone.
Right.
Like they're all a bunch of
think we were gonna
backwoods
do?
fucking retards
Yeah.
who can't vote or like get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like Alyssa Milano and you name it.
Oh, sweet Alabama. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You did it, little guys. Hey, little guys.
Hashtag thanks, Alabama. You guys are your own fucking state. You're picking and choosing who you want, and that's the beauty of voting for your own state.
You've known this Roy Moore more than, longer than we
Longer than
have.
everybody else has, yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't like him.
But look, I did say this 5 or 6 months ago when he won that initial primary. I was shocked that he won. And I said, look, when this December election comes up, if he gets in, it's trouble. Like, that's not a good sign. He's too far right. Like, he's too far off the thing.
Incendiary for sure.
And these celebrations that you're seeing, like, I would be really careful because he lost by 20,000 votes. That's it. 20,000 votes. There were 22,000 write-ins for like Nick Saban, the head coach of Alabama football. Mm-hmm. So if you want to flip that one way or another, Roy Moore gets in. 1, 2. The next election is in 2020 for them, I believe, and for the senator. The guy who won is probably out. Alabama's been a red state as long as.
Right, they just wanted someone else in.
Anybody other than Roy Moore.
Yeah.
Anybody other than Roy Moore.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that much cause for a celebration for only winning by 20,000 votes and essentially 2 percentage points for a guy who's arguably the worst candidate for a senator, maybe of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who was more hated or just had such extreme views as far as homosexuality and things like that, where it's just like he didn't believe it. He doesn't believe in homosexuality.
Well, he thinks it should be illegal.
Illegal, yeah.
Separation of church and state.
Yep.
He wants
which, homosexuality is legal in the United States. And, for the longest time, the Democrats wouldn't pass that law. It took a lot of arm twisting, and Obama finally passed it. But even they were against it as well. But it finally got passed, as well it should.
Right.
And the fact that this guy was living in the fucking dark ages with this whole shit, that's just not the type of person to be in there. So me personally, I look at this as a positive win for the nation, maybe a negative for the Senate in the fact that, you're looking at 51-49 now in the Senate. And whenever it's that close, chances are a lot of legislation isn't going to get passed. So you're going to be stuck on shit for years. And it happened with Obama. More than likely, it's going to happen with Trump now for a lot of these issues that are coming up. And it is what it is, but this guy should not have been in. So I think overall it is a win for the nation. And you take a loss like this when it can help your country. Because there is people that out there. I don't understand it personally, but there's people that feel hopeless and shit like that. And not to say that I don't understand it personally because of my own life, but because of politics. I don't understand people who feel hopeless about life because of politics. Politics has never affected my life personally. And now, if you're a homosexual man or woman living in Alabama and Roy Moore would have won, yes, that would have affected your life. Because that's a guy who just truly does not believe in your lifestyle and your love and state of mind. And then you have issues. He didn't win, so it's not. The country doesn't really feel that way. So it's overall, I was happy to see it when it went down.
Yeah.
And no matter who you voted for, again, and we've stressed this a million times on the show, we don't care who you voted for. In this one instance, though, everybody was kind of rooting for the other guy, where it's just like,
they were like,
just get that guy out of there.
There wasn't a lot of votes, though.
It was not.
So a lot of people did vote for him.
Yeah, oh yeah. Look, it was extremely close, and it came down to, early part of the night, it looked like a blowout.
Yeah.
And then, for Roy Moore, and then little by little, numbers started coming in and all of that shit. He still hasn't conceded to this day, by the way.
And
he's
that's
asking for a recount.
That's the kind of shit that he does.
Yeah.
He's that kind of person.
But I will say this, 20,000 votes, that's probably, look, in any other race, that's enough to fucking ask for a recount. But, it's a moot point.
Yeah.
It's just to do it at this point.
Yeah.
But the right guy won. And I for one night, it seemed like a positive for the nation.
Yeah.
Hopefully some legislation can get passed. And then the real test, because I read some things that were like, they really stuck it to Trump. I don't think so on this one. I think people just hated this guy
that much
in that state. Yeah. And they Obama made robocalls. Biden made robocalls. So did Hillary, and into the state of Alabama for the other candidate. And they threw a ton of money in it. And to only win by 20,000, that was still a little like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I think the real test will be in the 2018, those midterm elections coming up in 2018. If you see a drastic swing in the House and the Senate, then you'll know people are off the fucking Trump train and they're done with that. But until then, this one's too early to call of what this means. I just think in the meantime, in the short term, it's just a win for the nation. Just a win for the nation. I read a fucking awesome story too that I really wanted to talk about, and this is something I always wanted to do, and fucking George Clooney did it. He did the goddamn thing. Did you hear about this with his friends?
Yeah.
How did this story not go untold for this? So this happened in September 27th of 2013. And the reason why is he's got a group of best friends he calls the boys, right? Which, look, you could have come up with a better name.
Gay.
Could have come up with a better name.
Gay. My group of friends is called The Boys.
The Boys.
Hey, you want to get the boys together?
Yeah. Anyways,
it's cute. It's cute and dorky. And George Clooney is dorky.
Yeah. So he says marked September. I'm going to read this verbatim because it's that cool of a story where you're like, God damn it, man. It's just when you think like the guy couldn't be a nicer guy. And you're like, all right, great. You fucking asshole. You're still nice. You're still nice.
You're still awesome, you dick.
Move out of Italy for immigration. But no, but this story is amazing. So he said, mark September 27th, 2013 in your calendar. Everybody's going to come to my house for dinner. When they arrived for dinner, his 13 best friends, there was black designer luggage bags at each setting at the table. And it was just the dudes, no wives, no nothing.
The boys.
The boys.
Was it Saturday?
Yeah, probably. We'd have to look up that date. But here's what was really cool. And he said, listen, I want you guys to know how much you've meant to me and how much you mean to me in my life currently. I came to LA. I slept on your couch. I'm so fortunate in my life to have you all. And I couldn't be where I am today without all of you. So it was really important to me that while we're still all here together, that I give back and I want you to open your suitcases. They open up the suitcases. There's $1 million a piece in $20 bills in each suitcase. So he says every one of us, which is 14, including him, got $1 million of his friends. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, look, we've been through some hard times. I've been through some hard times. Some of you are still going through hard times. You don't have to worry about your kids. You don't have to worry about schools, private schools. You don't have to worry about paying your mortgage anymore. And I'll also pay for the taxes on this $1 million.
For the year, yeah.
Which the taxes on $1 million,
yeah.
In case you don't realize, is 37%. So that's $370,000.
Yeah.
So he paid for the taxes as well on the $1 million.
Now, what year was this?
This was September 27th of 2014.
14.
No, I'm sorry, 13.
Okay.
13. And then on September 27th of 2014, he got married.
Right. Well, some of his friends, the boys, mm-hmm. were not like, because one of them's Gerber, right? Cindy Crawford.
Randy Gerber.
He's good.
Yeah, he's by the way, if you don't know Randy Gerber, like there's a part of you that looked at Cindy Crawford when she got married to Randy Gerber, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And you were like, who is this guy? Like,
right.
Never heard of him, nothing. He designs hotels and is richer than everybody in Hollywood. And you're like, oh, mm-hmm. cool. And he's pimpy. Like he's pimpy looking and does the whole shit, yachts and all that. So they've been best friends with Clooney for years. They opened up a hotel together. They did the tequila together. Mm-hmm. What is it? Casa de Migas or whatever the fuck it's called. Amigos. I don't drink it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they did that together. They sold that for $3 billion.
So he's good.
He's good.
He's good. And he was like trying not
This was before the tequila sale though.
Yeah, but he was still good. And he was like, I don't want to take this. And he was like, if you don't take it, nobody gets it. And the other people that were the boys are people that are not like, they're just normal dudes. And some of them are living paycheck to paycheck. So like when you first hear this story, you're like, oh, rich ass Clooney gives money to all his rich ass friends. It's like, cool. But that wasn't the case at all.
It's not the case.
And then Gerber gave his to charity.
He gave his to charity. And he said, look, if one of you turns it down, none of you get it. And so you had to keep it. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah. And I will say this, I got to play basketball with him and the boys one time. It was at their lawyer's house. It was like a pickup basketball. Clooney, I think we may have mentioned this on another show. He likes to play a lot of basketball, or he used to at least.
I'm sure he used to.
So his friends were all like, some of them were character actors, commercial actors. One of them was Richard Kind, Spin City. Like, Richard Kind. Yeah, you'd know him if you saw him, character actor, and all of them unassuming, nice guy. It wasn't like he was playing basketball.
He actually hangs out with real people.
Real people, yeah. So it's not like he was, like Brad Pitt was over and Matt Damon or Ben Affleck. It was normal people. And these have been his friends for years and years and years. And because a lot of people don't know this, like he started in like late 70s, early 80s in LA. So like he's been there a long fucking time.
And he wasn't doing well for a long
20 years. Probably 20 years.
Before ER.
Yeah. ER was, but he was, in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and all that shit. And like he worked his way up. Fuck, he was on Facts of Life, Roseanne, and then blew up. So the fact that he did this for all of his friends, like,
I think it's awesome.
And having met them and played ball with them, and at least got to know them for a tiny fucking couple minutes in my life. They were all normal people, and that's just a fucking awesome baller move thing to do.
I would do it.
So I would too, because it's out there.
If you have Clooney money, you have to.
Exactly.
You can't just sit around with all your fucking coins.
The other thing in LA that I think it goes untalked about a lot is it is a lonely, isolating city, and you don't have too many friends. You have a lot of acquaintances. Mm-hmm. Even the people you work with, like, I've done a gajillion fucking movies, but I would say there's maybe 4 or 5 actors that I hang out with after work, like that I'm still friends with to this day. Most of these films, it's like a sleepaway camp. You're all friends for a short amount of period of time. Then everybody breaks up and goes back to...
And you all say that you're going to hang out and you're going to keep in touch and we're going to hang out all the time and never see them again.
No.
Never.
And so the fact that he's been able to maintain this close-knit group for that long, I was fortunate enough that most of my best friends from college moved out to LA with me, or at least over the years. So I would say I always had a good stable of like 5 to 6 close best friends that were real people for forever and ever. And then, a handful of actor friends. But I would do the exact same thing. Like that would be the ultimate dream, to be like, hey man, you don't have to worry about shit anymore.
Right.
Because what
would be really cool is to just be one of the boys.
Yeah. One of the boys
that gets the million. You know what I mean? I'll either be the guy, that would be great too, but I wouldn't mind just being at the table and being a boy.
Yeah.
Being one of the boys.
Let's say you were friends with Clooney for 30 years, they're probably his own age. And to get that million after a 30-year wait, it's a long time.
Richard Kind. That's a weird looking motherfucker.
He is, but he's got to have money. He was on Spin City
he's on everything ever.
He was on Spin City with Barry Bostwick.
He's good
for years. But that was just a really cool gesture, and I haven't heard too many things like this, stories at least in Hollywood, where you're like, fuck, that was awesome.
No, people at that point usually, because they feel bad, right? So you have all this money, and I'm sure Clooney's just like sitting again on his gold coins, and it's like you either start these giving to charity and like doing these charity events and stuff like that, or you can do stuff like this where you like give back to your friends, and it feels the same as far as like I can't just have all this money and not do anything, right?
Yeah.
So good people usually feel that way, and they either, like I said, give it a lot to charity, or you're a fucking awesome motherfucker and you give it to your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder how fucked up they got that night. I mean, I bet you that was an epic level of trash where you're just
Holy
like, wow,
shit.
Yeah, like you go for it on a night like that.
Divorces.
Yeah.
Later. Yeah. I'm one of the boys. Yeah.
Some of them kept the suitcases for 2 years until the divorce was final, and then
don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Because there was probably like NDAs that had to be signed or something. Randy Gerber doesn't give a shit because he's loaded.
He doesn't, and I wonder if there wasn't, but it's just not something that you talk about. And then George Clooney won't make a comment about it.
No.
So, it's one of those things that like, why would you say it? Unless George Clooney says it himself, right?
Right.
Why are you like, hey, this one time?
Yeah. This one time?
Hey! And who was talking to any one of the other boys? Gerber's the only one that we get a chance.
Yeah.
You don't really hear him talk much.
No, you don't actually. You never... He's
one of those rich guys that's just like in the corner, yeah.
He's in every photo though. Like if you look, Randy Gerber's in every fucking photo at every event you could imagine, and just being cool. And we were just like, oh, fuck, who's that guy? I think I saw that guy in a bunch of photos before I found out who he was, and I was like, oh, that's what that guy does? Fuck.
Sure.
Now I get it.
Restaurateur, like that's a dream of mine to have like a restaurateur friend.
Like Mario Batali, so you can harass the.
Mario Batali can harass me.
He's done.
Whatever.
He's done. No.
I know he's done, but like
I don't know. Like it's weird though. Like
away. I'll just give you shit about it.
Or if you're getting harassed by a chef, like wouldn't that be like a woman's dream? Where it's like, cool, are you gonna cook for me the next day or no? Because if I get a meal out of it the next morning, then we're gonna have
those celebrity chefs don't really cook that much anymore. But
a party. Do they not? Is that not how the gig works?
They just end up being like a personality, and you can't. The more you start judging people on their food, right? So they do these like cooking shows where they're like judging and they're like, teaching you how to make these things. Like you can't show too much. How
give away your secrets.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or you get a bad review, or somebody doesn't like it, or something like that, or you lose the competition, whatever.
It's kind of like the secret sauce at McDonald's, is what you're saying.
What is?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. It's the secret, Jessie. You can't give away that secret, obviously. So, I think we're pretty much on the onesie twosies here, on the level together. We're on the same level in Donkey Kong with that.
But I want to be friends with someone that like opens restaurants.
Yeah.
Hey guys, come to the opening.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you.
Yeah, I know. That'd be nice.
You get this like awesome table. The closest I get is last night went out with my book club. What up?
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah.
And we got taken care of by a waiter that I know in town.
Look at you.
Yeah. Brian, what up?
Yeah.
What up, dog?
You were the fanciest girl in town last night.
Yeah,
from what
I had a friend on the inside.
Yeah.
And that's because I go out a lot.
Yeah.
So
you're always out in the town.
That's how you get a friend in the biz to take care of you. I want to just say a little shout out to Brian.
Absolutely.
We know him.
Fire away. I love Brian.
He was manager at this place that we did a bunch of our events.
Yep,
when we
Real
first
Cafe.
moved out here, Real Cafe.
Yeah.
Awesome dude. One of those people that just takes pride in whatever they do.
Yes. Great guy.
Just great at what they do. And I respect the shit out of that. That's the kind of person that you get like, they get plucked from a restaurant to be like a COO. Cause they're just so, do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like take pride in it. It's like, I don't care if you work at Wendy's.
Yeah.
I don't care if you are like,
I'm with you 100%.
So he's someone that, he's managers and he's high up in all of these like restaurants around here, but yeah, it's a good gig. It really is. And he takes pride in it and he's really good at it. And I just love him. So Brian, what up? What up? And I got taken care of.
Yeah,
said, you can have the table by the bar. I'll take care of you.
I like that.
So
I like anybody.
I felt special.
Anybody who's good at their job and takes pride in their job.
It's hard to fucking find, dude.
There was a thread that went viral, maybe yesterday, about this woman who was working with this editor at a newspaper.
Okay.
And this theme came up about taking pride in your work and being good at what you do, no matter if you don't particularly like the job or like the thing you're doing, because you treat it as either a stepping stone moving forward or to work your way up within the company you're at to do something better that you actually want to do. But you still need to take pride in your job and be good at what you do. Mm-hmm. This woman was a movie critic for a magazine, and she had to go see this movie called The Good German, which it's a movie from 2006 with Steven Soderbergh directed it. Super fucking boring. It's in black and white. It's a tough movie to sit through.
Sure.
It was up for some awards here and there or whatever. And this woman who was writing the review stopped because she couldn't remember this line in the movie. And she wrote it into the article and she wanted to double check it. So she went back to the theater and checked it. She watches the movie, can't find the line. Mm-hmm. So she calls up her friend who was also working for this news outlet as well, and drags her friend there, and she's like, hey, this movie's fucking hard to sit there and it's brutal, but I'm looking for this one line and I want to know if you hear it because I can't find it anymore, and I'm trying to use it for this review. She's like, well, how many times have you seen this movie? She's like, this is my third time.
Oh no.
Yeah. So they go and watch it for the third, this woman's third time, the other one was first. Mm-hmm. Can't find the line. She's like, I'm really sorry. She was like, I cannot hear that line that you were trying to write in your article. Like, I didn't hear it. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. And this one line drove this. She thought it was so important to her review that she was like, I just determined hell and high water to get it right. She made her way into Steven Soderbergh, got his number, and said, hey, I just have one question for you. It is literally about one line of dialogue in your movie, and I'm trying to write this review on it, but I really love this one line, and I'm trying to tie it together. And he goes, oh, I think you saw a screener of the movie, but that wasn't the final cut, so that line didn't make it. And she was like, oh, okay, well, mystery solved. I appreciate your time. Goodbye. Hangs up the phone, whatever, writes her review, and then goes on about her day. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever mentioned it. Nobody ever said anything about it again. And this woman went on to describe her. She's now the fucking head editor in charge. Like, just because she took pride.
Because you take pride, you take time, you do things right.
You fact check. You try to do things right.
You don't fuck people over.
Yeah, and it was such a bizarre story to go back and I guess call out or give props to this woman from fucking 10 years ago from this movie. But she was like, it is an excellent point about if you love or you try to do the best at what you do, whatever it is. It is not a guarantee you will succeed, but it's pretty goddamn close. Because she started off this piece by saying, I've known people who've busted their asses and not succeeded. This one woman did. Here's why, and here's the lengths she did to do it. And you were like, fucking A. I love hearing stories like that. Yeah. There aren't enough of them out there. I wish more people would write about shit like that. Yeah. Because that's more fascinating than fucking Trump had 12 Diet Cokes for Christmas or whatever.
And if you want to talk about, success and what it means or whatever, I think it should be that you can lay your head down at night and be like, I did the best that I could do today in whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that can be,
I've been on both sides of it. When you're fucking struggling and you're killing yourself and it does nothing, it is really goddamn hard to go to sleep at night when you're like, man, my best was not good enough today. At least for me personally. Like, where it gets frustrating after a while. So it's hard to love what you do or try to be great at your job every day if there's a lot of frustration. There's no breakthrough on something,
Well, it's something you can control, though.
Yeah.
So you can't control like who's going to notice you or how much.
Absolutely.
The thing you can control is iron your fucking shirt. You know what I mean? Like, get a good night's sleep. Like, look. Example of what not to look over there.
Yeah.
But if you're a plumber, like, work clean.
Yeah.
Put the little booties on your fucking shoes before you come into someone's house. Like, don't price gouge people. Like, the little things that you can control.
Sure.
Control those, and good things may happen after that.
Yeah. I would say. Look good. Yeah. I would say it's probably 90-10. Mm-hmm. Probably only 10. There's probably 10% of people who absolutely killed themselves doing something and didn't succeed at it. Yeah. Every single day.
Yeah, but that's what I said. What is your definition of success, right?
Right.
Are you a good person that took pride in your work and you did a great job and you're,
and that depends on the person.
Taking care of what you need to take care of. But yeah, not that there isn't people that struggle, but again, when you're struggling, it's like, what are the things that I can control?
Yeah, and then
I just do those right now, because at some point you can just let things spin out of control, right?
Sure. I've seen the other side of it where you see people who take shit for granted, and like there was a story 2 days ago on that this guy named Nerlens Noel, or Noel Nerlens or something. Either way, it's a guy with like two last names where you're like, hey man,
sure, weird.
What are we doing? And he played for Kentucky. He was great at Kentucky. One and done guy. Went to the NBA. One of the first picks in the draft. And I saw that like over the summer they were doling out like massive contracts, and he got like this 4-year $72 million offer. And he said, no, I want 100. And it was like, oh my God. Like, I cringe at shit like that. And so after that, he like nobody wanted to sign him. He ended up kind of getting hurt. So he had signed with somebody for like $4 million. And it was just like, you just threw $68 million out the window just for being fucking greedy. Like, it's crazy when you see that side of it too, where you're like,
right.
What the fuck are you doing? Oh God, it's infuriating just to watch somebody flush it too. Like, just absolutely fucking flush it. It's crazy to me.
I get really frustrated with, I think it's champion syndrome or survivor syndrome or something, where these people that have gotten all these opportunities, let's say like Michael Phelps or something, right? Or like a skier. A skier is a good example because like your family had to be rich.
Yeah.
You had to like get all these
Bodie Miller. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, just work hard and have a dream and it'll happen for you. And it's like,
no,
that's not how it works.
No.
So don't just tell me to work real hard and it'll happen, because you don't say that, well, my family was rich and we went skiing you know what I mean? I had all the equipment. I had ski lessons. And stuff like that where they don't say, or Phelps or whatever, where you're just like, just work really hard.
Exactly. Hollywood's a great example too, where
just follow your dreams.
Yeah, follow your dreams. I've seen people in the entertainment industry who have a ton of talent and don't make it.
Yes.
And then I've seen the other side where it's like people with no talent make it, and you're just like, Jesus Christ.
And advice from people like that, like, I can't even handle it, because there's nothing that you can, there's no formula that you can give me. Just do this and just read all the plays that you can and just like audition all the time and eventually it'll happen.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, it actually doesn't work like that. Again, take pride in what you do.
Yep.
Do the best that you can. Hit the pavement. But, if the right thing at the right time, at the exact thing, and the luck and all of these things don't align.
Sure.
It's not going to happen.
No. And the other side of it that I also got to see was like celebrities' kids too.
Yeah.
That's
I just felt.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 where it's like, I've met a lot of celebrities' kids who just didn't make it, where you're like, oh, fuck. So the nepotism thing doesn't always work for
almost works against you sometimes. It depends on how you handle it.
Yeah.
How you approach it, and like using the last name and dropping the name all the time. Or if you just go straight off your talent and you drop that later.
Nope.
It's awesome.
Don't do it. I'm going to look right into camera, since we're doing a video show on this as well today, and say, if you were someone famous's kid, use the fucking last name to the nth of the earth. Like, use it. Just use it. There was people.
Wait. Do you know L. King?
L. King, no.
X's and the O-O-O's.
Oh, yeah.
So whose daughter is that?
I don't know. Is it?
It's Rob Schneider's daughter.
No.
I would not.
You're
use
kidding.
That. Yeah, I would not use that name. It
Not
would have
not
worked
music.
against her.
Not in music, yeah.
It would have worked against her.
In acting, yeah. But
you think?
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe always use it. I don't know, but
yeah.
That's one instance I'm just gonna throw.
That's Rob Schneider's daughter who sings that song? Mm-hmm. Get the fuck out of here.
Have you seen her too? She's like tatted up, blonde, like bigger.
I would never have guessed that in a million years. No. That's funny.
I think she was like, don't, no. He's like, just use my name. She's like, no, I'm good, Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually see how I can get with L. King, and then if I need your name, I'll use it. Right?
That's really funny. Yeah, in music, if you're gonna be a hardcore rock star, Rob Schneider's not gonna do it for you.
That don't use the name. Sometimes,
for a while, yeah. There was I remember that Eastwood daughter, and
oh yeah.
Who's the Meryl Streep daughter? She wasn't using Streep, was she?
No, she wasn't. She wasn't.
Susan Sarandon's daughter wasn't using it either. She was going by something else, and it was just like, why?
Because they know you. Like, all the people that are going to cast you have probably already met you on set or whatever, so they know who you are.
Not the casting directors, because they don't really come to set that much.
That's true.
And you're just looking at all these names coming across your desk, and it's like, why is it going to be this person? I would literally say, because I'm Susan Sarandon's daughter. Like, that's what I would.
I guess, yeah.
Hammer that home.
Yeah.
Hammer that one home.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave that, because it's going to be a long, cold road to,
L. Schneider.
Now, when the younger Eastwood, that kid, that Scott, Scott Eastwood, like, he used it to the nth of like.
And Conn.
Eastwood, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Conn kid.
Yeah, Scott Conn, yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah, why not?
I guess why not? He looks
Why not?
exactly like him, talks exactly like him.
Both their dads are cool too.
Are badass,
it's just that's
the
fucking
thing.
dope.
Yeah.
James Caan lived in the Playboy Mansion for like 4 years. After a divorce, was best friends with Hef, and I don't know. He was like, just come live with me. I was like, I guess. And it was like
Best way to get over somebody.
70s, early 80s, and it was just like, prime time over there.
Yeah.
Prime time at the mansion.
Oh, in the grotto.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I still don't know what a grotto is.
AIDS didn't exist yet either.
Yeah,
so it was just like, fuck it. Whatever we get tonight can be cured with a shot of penicillin. So
sure.
Who cares?
Sure.
Who fucking cares?
Yep.
And Hef used to have these movie nights, once a week over there. So I'm sure with James Caan being your best friend,
give him a little.
They're watching the fucking
bone.
Godfather, and he's telling them inside stories.
Sure.
They're like, here's what happened.
Tell me he's not getting laid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't not get laid after that.
I saw the best thing ever though this week.
What?
The spaceship. Did you see the spaceship? Did you see the spaceship? Aliens are real, James. You're not going to convince me otherwise.
Talk to the audience.
There was a Russian billionaire who's been financing these fucking crazy, I guess you would call them cameras.
Coke parties?
Yeah,
what?
Coke parties, cameras,
cameras.
That go into space and, they're capturing everything in the galaxy. And they think, it was a clear as day, crystal clear photo of what they think is an alien spaceship. And that's their, I saw the photo. I don't know what it is. It's super wide and thin. And it appears to be something like that. Or it's just the world's thinnest, most amazing piece of rock that happens to look like the Millennium Falcon.
Maybe.
Yeah. Come on. They're out there. They're out there. And now we're sending shit out there. So we're going to find out. Trump is putting people back on Mars and the moon. Well, not back on Mars. Nobody's ever been on Mars. But he's going to send people to Mars and put people back on the moon.
Yeah.
Right on the sun.
Huh?
We need to get in there and see how hot it is.
That's what we need to send people, huh?
See how hot it is out there.
Send them to the sun.
So I think we're getting closer and closer. I wish again with the JFK thing out, let's release the Roswell tapes. Let's release the alien evidence. The audience, James, has spoken. They've heard the alien episode, like we know, some of the lost tapes, sure, if you will. Mm-hmm. I also found that show, by the way, the video portion of the Barnes Brothers. Yeah, so we'll post that as well, and maybe just go live with it one night. Just show the whole show that we shot in Roswell, so that way people can at least see what the fuck we were doing and why. And that was a trip, though.
It was interesting to see you too.
It's weird to hear my voice back then. Like, it's definitely not
different,
as deep.
and then clean as well. You guys both sound completely different.
Yeah.
Look not totally different, but
look similar, sort of.
I think it's just the voice. You guys look the same, but it's the voice, and then you guys are just being fucking nut bars. So
yeah,
I guess that's not weird.
It's a fun show, and we have it. Like, we have the video converted from
it's fun
2004, so we'll post it. And I'm curious. I'm gonna go watch it this weekend. I want to see if it holds up.
Okay.
I think it does.
I think it does.
It was originally shot as a fake public access show, is what it was, about these two brothers who are But then you do like Borat type stuff where you're like talking to real people and getting their like real reaction to you too. And it brings it back to that old school public access where you could go out and do, like, they used to call them remotes. I don't know what they call them now, but where news reporters would go out live into the crowd, and like whatever happened. And it was fucking crazy, or it wasn't crazy. Like, you never knew what you were going to get. And my father did some of that shit, and I found those old tapes of him doing it. Yeah. And it was like, that's kind of what we were hearkening back to, was like, if you turned on like channel 13 back in the day of like UPN or whatever the fuck it was, and you saw some weird show with these two local brothers who lived in your town doing this weird shit, like that's what it would be.
Got it.
So I'm excited. We're gonna air it, and I haven't seen it in fucking years. Hearing the tapes was crazy. That was a fun episode. I was like, holy shit. So now that we'll have the video to go with it, it'll be cool for the crowd. And we're doing video obviously again, and iTunes is doing video as well for podcasts. So you have the option now to do
either press video or podcast.
Yep.
It's pretty sweet. You can do all of it right on iTunes.
Right on iTunes, and you can watch all of it. So maybe I'll put that show up on iTunes as well, so that way people could watch it with the rest of the video cast. So you can check it out as well. Because otherwise, if you don't have Facebook or whatever, at least everybody has iTunes. Mm-hmm. I think, right? It's like a worldwide thing, ain't it?
That costume was awesome. You could just like burp and turn it into like your character.
Well, that was the character all day.
I know.
I drank about a half a carton of eggnog for that sketch earlier. Ooh. So really feeling it on the inside.
Welcome.
Feeling it on the inside. And there was one more weird story that really caught my fancy.
What was it?
They found this shark that was 512 years old. No. Yeah. It only grows like just a little at a time. And if you pull up this picture,
not true.
It is. So they only grow, like it starts off this, like minuscule, and they only grow by this. It's 512 years old, and they have a picture of it, and it looks like, it looks fucking 500 years old.
Old, like wrinkly?
It looks
glasses, bifocals,
dead. Like somebody had pinned it to the bottom of the ocean. It's real dark and gray and prehistoric. And when they took this shot of it, I was like, there's no fucking way. But I guess the previous record was like, I don't know, 478. There was another shark that was 478 years old. So it was like, oh, all right. And they described the growing process of these sharks back in the day. And I was like, fuck, man. It's creepy.
What's it called?
I'd have to look it up.
Because there's
megalodons,
which isn't real, or is it real?
Yeah, megalodons is real.
Okay, I
was gifted a tooth. I have one of those teeth,
but they're not around anymore.
No,
right.
Supposedly,
I know, but that's why these things, these like oldest shark and the whole thing. I'm like, is it, or you guys? It's like a Loch Ness monster thing. Like, what is it?
It's
Is this real?
Greenland sharks.
They're off the coast of Greenland, or what?
Apparently, and they only grow 1 centimeter a year.
Okay.
And they said the shark is the world's oldest vertebrate and animal with a backbone, and may have been born in 1505, when Henry VIII was 14 years old.
So it's a dinosaur? No.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, like that's, because there was land and sea dinosaurs, and alligators, one of them, crocodiles, like those date back to millions of years. You have a hard time with all of this shit. You don't believe anything past like 227. Like what's the oldest?
227?
Yeah, what's a show you watched as a kid growing up, like Andy Griffith or something like that was on like reruns?
Yeah, Golden Girls. I Love Lucy.
Yeah, I don't think you believe anything past I Love Lucy in your life.
Earlier than I Love Lucy.
Yeah, I don't think you believe anything. Aliens, dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. I believe in dinosaurs. It's not something you believe in.
All right.
That's science, you fuck.
Well, it was millions of years ago, James. So you have a hard time
believe in
it.
Science. I don't believe in God. I believe in science.
Science, yeah.
So I believe in science.
Okay. I mean, I'm just checking, like,
and facts.
Well, this shark
and like things that are proven
you guffawed at this shark. You laughed at this shark, and I don't understand why, James.
Because that's a really long time for something to be alive.
Yeah, but if you grow 1 centimeter a year, that's it.
Sure,
that's it.
Sure.
I guess what would be surprising about it is that it wasn't killed or captured or
right.
I mean, 1505.
I mean, again, that's Loch Ness style shit.
It would be if Loch Ness Monster was real.
But that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
It's like this old,
because like
500-year-old shark.
So here's where I'll trade it in. Well, there was they have a picture of it and all of this shit and video. They've got video of it as well. So I watched the video and the picture. It's legit. The one that I will give you and I concede on was Loch Ness Monster. As a kid,
I didn't even know you thought that one was.
As a kid, I thought it was real.
Bigfoot?
I looked at that picture.
Bigfoot? You think there's a Bigfoot out there?
No, I don't think there's Bigfoot. I thought maybe there was a Loch Ness Monster simply for the fact of like sharks like this. Mm-hmm. To me, it would be plausible if some kind of sea creature was out there living in the water, because the depths of this, to try to find these animals, like they're living so far down. It's like, all right, cool. You couldn't find them back in the day, but today there's so much technology with fucking sonar equipment and all of that shit that you can find things where you're like, oh man, I just pulled this bug, out of the center core of the earth, out of the magma of the earth, and it's 400 years old and it's been living there forever. Like, I believe it now.
Okay.
So this is why I don't believe in Loch Ness Monster. Is I heard they ran a scan, like sonar over that whole lake.
Okay.
Nothing. And they were like, hey, we would have found it here, you know?
Yeah.
So that one I've given up on, where it's like, I think technology is there where I believe it. Like, they scan the lake, there's no fucking monster there, right? Cool, I moved on with my life.
Okay.
Bigfoot, obviously they don't have the technology or anything for that, but there's been too many people hunting Bigfoot or looking for Bigfoot in those reality shows that have been going on for years. That I think by now, if it was real, they would have.
Somebody in a suit across the camera.
Yeah, just walking in slow mo or some weird plaster cast footprints.
Yeah.
I think they would have found Bigfoot by now, so that's checked off the list as well. And I look at that old Patterson footage. Ironically, he's got my last name, of the guy who took that video of Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
Walking in, big giant steps. I look at that footage and I was like, come on, man, that looks like a shitty costume. But I always have.
Right.
But yeah, I was willing to at least entertain it, of like, all right, maybe there's some places we haven't gone or seen or whatever. Now I think the only places that exist like that are deep at the bottom of the ocean, because, look, if James Cameron doesn't spend fucking 8 years of his life building those stupid cameras to look through the Titanic, I don't know that we know about any of this shit now,
Right.
Because they're finding new and or old species of life form because of his new, whatever that submarine thing is that he, invented.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all decked out with his special cameras and all that shit. And so they're always using that. I mean, what James Cameron, ironically, this is how rich you can be, is if you're rich enough, he's gone the deepest of any explorer in history. He wasn't an explorer. He was an explorer when he got rich and then built this submarine and decided to do it. Like,
he makes movies.
You can be that rich. Like, you can be rich enough to become an explorer and set records. Like, he's like, if you really wrap your mind around
go
that.
Into space. Like,
yeah. Richard Branson and fuck, man. James Cameron has gone the deepest out of anyone has ever gone in the ocean is James fucking Cameron. Like, are you kidding me? There's people that spend their entire life in marine biology and all that shit, and they don't get to sniff anywhere near that. But James Cameron spends all this money on a little fucking yellow submarine and just goes down and, guess what? This is as deep as you get. Isn't this incredible? Now he's in all the record books, and great. Go and take my boat now that I've set the record, and go do whatever the fuck you're going to do. And whatever you find down there, I own, because you're going to find it on my boat.
Right.
Yeah, do science, essentially, which is crazy. But he's not the first. Like, Ted Turner, I remember, was in all of those, because Ted Turner is like an icon for me growing up in Georgia, inventing TBS and Turner and all of that shit. Like, when he got rich enough, he was in the America's Cup, where, those boat races that are just you're grinding across the thing, and he won like two of them
because he could buy like a team.
You buy a team, you buy a boat, and you do it.
Sponsorship.
The races are fucking grueling. Like, I watched a documentary on one of them, and like a bunch of people have died over the years doing them. So I'm not going to slight him for that, because that's some man shit out there where you're like, cool, you're out in sea, and I'm pretty sure people died on his boat as well as others. And he did it. I mean, congratulations. Fuck. It's amazing. And, you see him partying with champagne and fucking, yeah. But, let's face it. If you're not rich, you can't win the America's Cup. You can't have a boat. And nobody's going to certainly ask you to join a team of boatsmen at that age, and be like, oh, God, you know what I really need is this thin, older man who's super rich to
get on the boat, old timer.
To pull the ropes, to go to the...
Dreams do come true. No. They're not going to do that.
Chips ahoy, or whatever they say,
Chips ahoy.
Don't they say that in the boating community?
I think so.
I need a boat.
I need a boat. Now you need a boat because you know all the lingo.
Yeah.
Speaking of man shit, I've got some cookies to make for the cookie exchange, otherwise known as Jable's Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is your Super Bowl. You want to tell? You want to tell some
pictures?
Yeah, you want to tell the audience about it?
About what? The cookie exchange?
Yeah, this gets heated.
It's the biggest party of the year.
It is.
I wait for the invite every year because sometimes you don't get invited. It's a very exclusive group. It's the party. It's the best.
It is.
Santa's there.
It's
real
the
life
best.
Santa.
Yeah.
Santa's wife. The real live one. Okay. Cookie competition.
Yeah.
And it gets fierce and it gets real.
Yeah, it does. It gets real quick.
Moms with time on their hands, okay?
Oh, it is.
So you better watch out.
Whew.
Why? What do you want to say about it?
Last year, you were driven to...
Almost madness, yeah.
Beyond
close
that.
To madness.
Hysterical blindness.
Yeah. I was like...
You yelled at me when I came into the kitchen to grab my car keys as if I had literally...
stepped into my own personal, my bakery. You had come in the back and you were some stranger.
Yeah. It was like I walked in with J-Law and you were like, what the fuck?
Get her out of here.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that.
And I grabbed my keys and I left. And
to grab me some more chocolate.
I didn't think you were going to make it. I didn't think your cookies would turn out.
Last year, yeah.
And because it starts at a certain time, and you have to get the cookies in at a certain time. And I didn't think you were going to do it.
That's with everything, man. It's all planning. It's all preparation. It's all,
Tell me you're doing it the night before, right?
I'm saying I need to be done with this show because I need to go and start.
Sure.
And it's tomorrow.
Yes.
So I need to be going from now till all through tomorrow.
We have a huge weekend ahead. So we have the cookie exchange. Both of us are in the fantasy football playoffs, and this is the game that will determine who goes to the Super Bowl.
Huge.
We have the fundraiser.
Yes.
We also have a live show December 20th in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yes.
At Wilmington Brewery. And there's no tickets. It's free. Everybody's hit me up. They're like, oh, man, is there tickets? Just come. It's free.
Just hang out, drink some beers.
Giving away signed copies of A Night She Cries While He Rides a Steed. We're giving away free T-shirts. Signed copies of Range 15.
I'm giving away these gloves.
Yep.
Okay. To anybody that wants them.
We're doing back-to-back shows with Drinking Bros podcast. And we're giving out some signed Range 15 DVDs. Some of the cast from Range 15 is going to be there.
We're
Jack Mandeville.
Just going to be crazy and talk shit.
And just getting drunk.
Drink. And
yeah. And we're going to shoot it. We're going to film it. So it'll be up and out into the world. But we've got a powerful 4 or 5 days coming up heading into the holidays.
Yeah, and it starts now for me.
It does. Are you nervous?
Very. Very.
Every year in the cookie exchange, do you think you're going to be good enough?
No.
I like that.
And I know my competition, last year, store-bought won, and it was a big controversy.
Sure.
It was a
Controversy in the cookie game.
Yeah.
Controversy. Crime corner.
It was a crime corner as far as I'm concerned.
I bet it was.
It came out not openly, but the girl was like, "Isn't it crazy? I won. I just bought them at the store," and my friend had to hold my hand down from not just what and just
giving her a rap on the beak,
stabbing her with my fork. So it's a big deal.
High stakes,
and no one found out about that, but it's a big deal.
Sure.
And again, it's about pride. So if you can sleep at night winning with store-bought cookies at the cookie exchange, that's up to you.
Yeah.
And that's on you.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
For sure. That'll bring us to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we?
We shall.
Revolutionary figure of the day is a lot like Jables before the cookie bake off, if you will, the cookie exchange. You're living on a prayer, Jabes. And this goes out to Bon Jovi.
Oh.
Mr. Jonathan Bon Jovi.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I don't know if his name is Jonathan. I don't.
Jonathan, probably not. Jobo.
It'd be
It's Jobo, right?
Well, it's JBJ. A lot of people call him JBJ, but Jobo is sweet. I like Jobo.
John Bon.
But it would be Bojo.
Bojo.
Yeah,
Bon,
Bojo. Yeah.
Bon Jovi. Bojo.
Yeah, Bojo.
Bojo, sorry.
But if it is Jonathan Bon Jovi, then it would be Joe Bojo.
Joe Bojo.
Yeah, Joe Bojo. Got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh.
You know why this makes me happy? Like really happy?
Why?
Do you know who got left out because Bon Jovi got in?
What? Who?
Radiohead.
Well, you got to play the hits, Radiohead.
Exactly.
Is that your thing?
We've done shows about this. We've done shows about this where it's like you show up at a Radiohead show.
You get Radioheaded.
Yeah, you get Radioheaded.
Bojo would never do that fucking shit to you. It's living on a prayer like, bring. Note
He's
one.
playing the hits. Want it.
Yeah. It's my life.
Yeah.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
And he slides right into the goose.
He's giving you nothing but
hits. He doesn't have anything he's working on.
Jobo.
It's all super produced singles.
Yeah. And the fact that we've talked about this numerous times about Radiohead concerts where we love Radiohead. We're huge fans of Radiohead.
Talented motherfucker.
Yes. Every album is amazing.
Genius.
I still have not heard a bad album out of those guys.
Sure.
But every time we go and see them, we never hear.
You get Radioheaded.
Yeah.
And now
I just want to hear fake little plastic trees. And I never hear.
Like this.
Instead, we'll hear this, like, here's something I was working on in my garage when I almost killed myself 2 years ago. And you're like, wait, what?
You're like, oh.
This never got released? No, it's just fucking, I play what I want. And it's blah, 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 blah.
I think like the piano's like it's back to the audience.
Yeah.
He's at the piano. You never
all
see
of
his
them.
face.
They're playing to like
They're
their
playing
own
to the
family
back. It's
and
like
friends.
This new.
Yeah, and the rest of us, we get Radioheaded every time. So the fact that they got Radioheaded by Bon Jovi,
I love it.
So fucking funny
Play
to
the hits.
me. Play the hits, Radiohead.
Play Creep. Just play Creep.
One time, play Creep.
One time in the encore, just play Creep in the encore. It's like who fucking cares?
That's it. Play Creep one time.
And then in between, play your little fucking workshop bullshit.
Yeah. Don't bring your fucking suicide song that you wrote about your buddy out on stage. That's not even on a fucking album. I don't want to hear it. So the fact that they got Radioheaded by Bon Jovi could not make me more proud. And you know for a fact, because all of these bands, when they get elected and they go into the induction ceremonies, they play their hits. They play the songs, and usually you can guarantee that fucking JBJ is going to go out there and play goddamn JBJ.
He doesn't have anything. I'm telling you, he does not have any other songs but hits.
Yeah, that's it.
He doesn't even have any other ones.
No.
Okay?
That's all he knows how to do.
That's all he knows how to do is play hits and play
Look.
My life.
If you want a fucking hit, you got to fucking hit from Bon Jovi, okay? You got to fucking hit from Bon Jovi.
Don't come at me with that
shit. Well, this is
bed
fun.
of roses. I mean, come on.
On a bed of roses.
I want to lay. I don't think that's right. But those are the words.
Yeah, those are the words. This was fun. We're going to let Jables go and cook. Those of you watching the video show, enjoy the black eye. And if you're just tuning in now, good luck trying to figure out what it was from. We love you. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.